The excitement of the coming festival was everywhere, in the chatter of the market women as they prepared their wares, in the hands of the craftsmen weaving baskets, in the joyful shouts of children practicing their steps for the great dance. But for Mafenwa, the joy was distant, drowned out by an unshakable feeling of absence. Atop the grand steps of the palace, Crown Prince Mazi stood, his gaze sweeping over the village below. To the people of Nbudu, the Nkolu Festival was a time of joy, a tradition as old as the soil beneath their feet. But Mazi knew better. For generations, the festival had been more than just feasting and dance. It was a moment of reckoning, a passage between the past and the future. And this year, he could feel it. An unease in the air, a shift in the way the elders whispered in council chambers, a silence where there should have been clarity. The weavers moved swiftly at their looms, golden fabric stretching beneath their fingers as they fashioned garments for the dancers. The blacksmiths hammered at their forges, sending sparks flying as they prepared ceremonial weapons. Warriors honed their blades for the grand display of strength that would mark the height of the festival. And yet, the true preparation did not lie in these things. It was hidden in the careful glances exchanged between the village elders, in the tension etched upon the face of Mazi's father, the king. The high priest's voice trembled as he spoke of the gods, his hands unsteady as he traced symbols of the old world upon sacred scrolls. Something was coming, a test, a moment that would change everything. Beyond the palace, in the heart of the village, Mafenwa walked among the people, yet she felt like a ghost among them. The excitement of the coming festival was everywhere, in the chatter of the market women as they prepared their wares, in the hands of the craftsmen weaving baskets, in the joyful shouts of children practicing their steps for the great dance. But for Mafenwa, the joy was distant, drowned out by an unshakable feeling of absence. Her mother had been avoiding her. Conversations that once flowed easily now felt strained, broken by half-answers and lingering silences. And then there was Omolu. He had always been a quiet presence by her side, a steady voice in a world of uncertainty. But now, his eyes were guarded, his words hesitant, as if carrying a truth too heavy to speak aloud. The wind shifted suddenly, carrying with it a whisper, a pull that she could not ignore. Her feet moved before her mind could catch up, past the market, beyond the village square, until she stood beneath the great Iroko tree. There, hidden among the roots, something glinted in the fading light, a relic. Its surface was worn, ancient, etched with markings she did not recognize. But the moment her fingers touched it, a shiver passed through her, an unspoken truth, a tether between past and present. And then, a shadow. At the village gate, a figure stood, cloaked in dust and time, eyes scanning the village as though searching for something long lost, or someone. Mafenwa gripped the relic tighter. She did not know what was coming, but she could feel it pressing against her chest, as inevitable as the rising of the sun. From the palace, Mazi watched as the elders exchanged nervous glances, as his father's grip tightened upon his staff. A prince in waiting, yet powerless to change the course of what was already set in motion. From the village, Mafenwa stood beneath the Iroko tree, a relic in her hands, a stranger at the gates, and a future she did not yet understand pressing upon her shoulders. The Nkolu Festival would begin. The people would dance. The warriors would fight. The gods would listen. But when the fires burned low and the last echoes of the drums faded into the night, Nbudu would no longer be the same.